Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Shalmith Musembi and I make videos on motherhood, lifestyle and everything in between. So a quick disclaimer, I'm seated outside at the balcony, so expect a bit of background noises, especially because of the wind, and since we are near the road, expect to hear some car noises, but other than that, let's get straight into the video. So today's video will be on the lessons that I have learned so far as a mother and the things that I know I will definitely do differently with my second child. So yeah, the first lesson that I have learned is on dealing with cradle cap. Now for those who don't know what cradle cap is, it's a scaly substance that forms on the baby's head, especially just on top here, and they usually look like dandruff imeshikana sort of, and it gets a bit thick. So what I didn't know is that you're supposed to start scrubbing, just scrubbing your baby's scalp from day one, so that it sort of like minimizes the building up of cradle cap. So what you do is that you get a soft brush, and it usually comes in the this kit, what is it called, grooming kit. There's usually a soft brush, so when you're washing your baby, you just sort of like scrub him or her pole pole, and then you apply coconut oil, because if you just wash them normally in a kakitamba and all that, it will start building up. So if you start from day one, just kumosha tu scrub just softly pole 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 pole, you minimize it just building up and becoming that sort of like irritating scaly thing that is on top of their head. Now that is one thing that I have learned. My baby got it, and by the time I sort of like knew how to deal with it, it had already gotten thick, and it really took time for me to sort of like get it off of his head. So now that is the first lesson that I have learned. The second thing that I learned is buy a nipple cream beforehand. I don't know if every other mother dealt with what I dealt with, because breastfeeding for me, the first few weeks was horrific. Nilikuwa nasikia mtoto analia, nasikia nikanaweza hipa, because the moment he just latched on my boobs, it was painful. It was so painful, I did not even want to deal with it. So please, if you can, buy a nipple cream beforehand, before even while you're preparing your hospital bag, have a nipple cream with you. And another trick is, a few weeks or even a few months before you get delivering, you can start applying some oil on your nipples to sort of like get them a little bit softer, if that even makes sense, because my nipples were cracked and they were so painful. Anytime he would latch on them, I felt like screaming, and one even got a bit of sore. So guys, I have learned a very painful lesson, that before as you are preparing your hospital bag, have a nipple cream on hand. Go to hospital with a nipple cream, because it is painful. Breastfeeding for me was painful, but now after you get used to it, it gets easier, and right now I don't feel anything. You just get used to it. But have a nipple cream with you. Please just have a nipple cream with you. The third lesson that I have learned is start expressing milk early, and this is mostly for working moms, because by the time you get to the third month, you should be able to have enough milk that will push your baby through the days, especially through the next 3 months before they start weaning. So for you to be able to like go back to work with peace of mind and not having to think about substituting your breast milk with formula milk, just start expressing milk and storing your milk early in advance. While you're preparing your baby's stuff beforehand, the clothes, the nini of vitu zote, also buy a good breast bag and storage bag, so that you can start expressing milk and storing them early in advance. Just put them in a freezer, and believe you me, it can even last up to 6 months. As long as you store it correctly, your breast milk can go up to 6 months without going bad. That is one lesson that I learned, because I started expressing milk from, I think, on the 3rd month. That is when I started expressing milk and sort of like starting to create my own milk bank. And by the time I was going back to work, I did not have enough milk for my baby, and I also had to sort of like look for ways to express milk while I was at work, which was a bit hectic and a bit, and not really uncomfortable, but it was a bit hectic. So just to avoid all that, start expressing your milk from the onset, from the moment you guys go home. Just start expressing, and the more you express, actually the more milk you get. So it's not like your baby will hatapata maziwa, no. The more you express, the more your production of milk goes higher. So start from the onset, express and store, such that you have, by the time you're going back to work, you have enough milk that can push your baby to the next 3 months. And by the time that milk is like finished and she is done with it, he or she is already 6 months. So either way, ameanza kukula food. So at that time, you will not have used formula milk. And I really regret not having done that and not having known that beforehand. So yes, that is one of the lessons that I have learned as a first-time mom. The 4th lesson is that you really don't need all those clothes. You know, as a first-time mom, and this is your firstborn, you sort of like get carried away and you just buy everything and anything cute that you can see in those baby stores, but really your child doesn't really need all those clothes. Believe you me, I think I went overboard with the amount of clothes that I bought, and the blankets, and almost half of them he didn't even get to wear them. And I really sort of like, I felt bad about it, because by the time these kids usually grow pretty fast, very fast. So most of the clothes that you bought, he or she might not even be able to wear them. Anaweza kuwa ashazi outgrow. By the time you're thinking, kuna ile nguo ilikuwa blah 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 blah, unaenda mvalisha, alisha outgrow. Just buy enough clothes that can push them through the next stage. That is what I would really advise moms. I had like, I think almost 1.5 suitcases full of between 0 to 3 month clothes, and believe you me, 3/4 of those clothes he did not wear them, such that by the time he was like on his 4th month, I had to go back and buy some few clothes for him that will fit him up to like 1 year or 6 months or something of the sort. And most of the clothes I had to give them away, or sort of like look for a way to exchange them to be able to be given bigger clothes for him. So you really don't need all those clothes. You don't need them. Nunua tu kiasi that will fit your child up to the next stage. Like, you have this child for the rest of your life. You have all the time in the world to spoil them and buy them everything. We tend to get carried away with these things, considering our firstborns. So keep that in mind. You really don't need all those clothes. The 5th lesson that I learned, and I am sure so many women will agree with me on this, is let your partner figure things out on their own. We women tend to want to be in control of everything, especially when it's matters concerning our children. So when you sort of like hand over your baby to your partner, if you have one, to your partner, you sort of like want to dictate how he handles the child. So there are things you might see him doing and you're like, hapana usifanye hivi, hapana fanye hivi, hapana, you know, like you want to control every single thing, which is a bad thing, sort of. Just let him figure things out on his own. Let him also form a bond with the child in their own way. If you keep on dictating, like every time he holds the baby and you're dictating how he should handle the child or what he should do with the child and things like that, that is when men get sort of like irritated and just let you do whatever it is that you want to do with your baby. Yeye heri amwoneange tu mbali, one au mtu yako sawa, naye ajishughulishe na mambo yake. Let them form their own bond and create their own relationship. You already have a relationship with your baby, you already have your own bond with your child, so let him also form his own relationship and his own bond with his child without you having to dictate everything that he is doing. Yeah, it's just as simple as that. Let your partner figure things out on his own. Now, this is something that I have not been able to figure out even up to date. My baby is 11 months, he's about to turn 1 year in a few weeks. Sleep training your child earlier, oh my god, it's such a task, because right now I am trying to transition him from our bed, because we do co-sleep with him, which is a bad thing, but yeah, for transitioning him from our bed to his bed, and believe you me, it's the hardest task ever. He already has his own routine. He has a routine. He goes to bed at the time he's supposed to go to bed. He sleeps at the time he's supposed to sleep. So sleeping is really not an issue. The issue is him not wanting to sleep in his bed. That's the issue, and I really wish I had trained him early enough. But anyway, we are here and I need to figure things out on how I will move him from our bed to his bed. So at the moment, he sleeps for around, he can sleep for around like 2 hours during the day, 2 to 3 hours during the day, and at night he sleeps through the night. He rarely wakes up in the middle of the night. He sleeps through the night. But the moment you put him in his bed, he will not even last 1 hour in that bed. And I don't know what I'm supposed to do for him to feel comfortable in his bed. But I'm thinking of buying a few things that will sort of like make him feel familiar in whenever he's put in his bed. But yeah, just sleep train your baby earlier. If you manage or are blessed to get a baby cot, for a bed for your baby, put him in that bed from day one. Don't go sleep. And if you go sleep, there's this a bed that is attached at the side of your bed, I don't know the name of it, that you can just put it next to your bed so that it's easy for you to just pick your baby up and then you turn them back. That sort of arrangement might work, because now you're transitioning him from that bed to his bed will not be hard. So sleep train your babies early, and routines are very important. Then the 7th lesson that I learned is that parenting is hard. Oh my god, it drains everything from you, because those babies are little humans that need attention from you, that they're just needy. They just need you. They need your 100%. And if you are not able to give them 100%, then you are bound to have issues along the way. So guys out there, you know, there are some pictures that msidanganywe na social media, by the way. People tend to make it look like it's all rosy and beautiful. Oh, nimeshikwa na baby fever, sijui nini. Parenting is hard. It can drive you nuts. You don't have a social life anymore. It just takes everything away from you. It's only that it is a fulfilling sort of like, it's a fulfilling feeling sort of, but it's pretty hard. And also, as the next lesson that I learned is that babies are damn expensive. I don't even need to explain more about it. They're just expensive. People that try and say, oh, you'll be able to handle it, you'll be able to figure things out. Guys, don't get pregnant if you're not ready for it. Like pronto. Don't get pregnant, in short. The 9th lesson that I learned is that you need to take care of yourself. You need to learn how to put yourself first, and most especially take care of your mental health. if you are not 100%, you will not be able to give 100%. If you're not mentally okay, you will break down and you will cry and you will get depression, you will get depressed, and you will hate everything about motherhood and about parenting and about babies. You need to take care of yourself mentally, physically, spiritually. Just take good care of yourself, and you will love everything about it. You love everything about motherhood, you love everything about parenting, you love everything about your child. But it needs to start with you first. Be selfish with yourself. You cannot pour from an empty cup. It can never happen, it can never work. So be selfish, put yourself first, take care of your mental health, your physical health, your spiritual health, and you will be a-okay. The final lesson that I learned is that FOMO is real. The fear of missing out is real, because you're stuck with your baby in the house trying to change diapers. You have to wash poop from everywhere, burps from everywhere and all that. And when you log into your social media, watu wako party after party. You know, people are just, their lives are moving on. FOMO is real. But you know what? You have to accept the fact that you have opened a new chapter in your life that they cannot understand, or even if some of them understand, they are not in the same, they're not in the same level as you are. You are in a totally different level. The moment you understand that, then you will not even feel when you see your girlfriends going trips, I don't know, wapi, and they're like living their best lives, and you're just there stuck with your child. FOMO is real, you guys. You're there just questioning, like, why did I even get pregnant? Why did God give me this baby at this point in time? I should be out there having fun, traveling and all that. So yeah, I really hope you guys loved this video. I hope you guys just learned something. Please like, share, comment and subscribe, and I hope I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.